What if the dark night of the soul, let's call it that, what if your pain, your purging, you're feeling like a failure, and the suffering, what if that is actually the real work? What if all along, and you didn't know, all along in this time of just feeling so under it, constantly being hit by energy after energy, just being under it, what if that is truly you being an empowered, strong spiritual being doing the work? What if that's it? And what if that, seeing yourself like sat on a sunrise or a sunset, being all spiritual and just like, I'm so in my energy and I'm connected to as above, so below, this is the life. What if that is not the life? I'm not saying that we're all destined to live in pain, but I'm talking about this particular pocket of time of kind of like going up to that next level, because we are breaking down old systems. We are disintegrating what has been integrated. So could that possibly be part of the disintegration, this false belief of what it is to be a spiritual being in a human body? Maybe that is why we're just stuck in this cycle, because maybe the reason why we experience such stuckness and frustrations and everything like that, because we have a very strong, powerful, negative belief, but we didn't know it was negative, of how it is to be on the spiritual path. Because right now, I speak to everyone, and we are in a constant dark night of the soul. Everybody I know, is basically being sick, getting sick, is sick. And we're kind of sat here going, oh my God, I'm getting it wrong. I need to just get up off this bed, and you're not serving humanity doing this. Well, what if you are? What if that is you really in the trenches, using your very, very powerful ascended mastery skills, your own powerful gifts and abilities when you're sleeping, you're out there in the trenches, you're doing the work, yeah? But meanwhile, in the waking day, because you're not sat there like, skipping through the daisies, flapping your fairy wings and just going, love and light, y'all, What if that belief there is basically preventing you from actually accepting the powerful being that you really, really are? Because this most recent, I'm feeling a lot better now, as you can see. I'm even wearing a bright, colourful jumper or sweater, or depending which part of the world you're in. So yeah, I have just come out of this very, very, very intense, consistently long dark night, okay? And I know that many of us have been in it as well. And we've all been like popping like popcorn, different levels. But I came out of this one going, wow, good job, Marie. I have purged very dark, divine, feminine stuff, my own stuff, ancestral stuff. And usually my mindset is, please, can I get up off this bed? I'm doing it wrong. For God's sake, you need to get onto your computer and do some videos and like do the work. And now you're just being here, being sick all the time. And actually now I came out of it this time going, wow, good job. It's almost like this here, videos, even tours to Egypt and all of these offerings that we do. That's not the work. The real work is basically going into the darkness, because that's where the light is. But we all try and stay away from the darkness. And also as well, we don't want to share that we're in the darkness, because we don't want people to think, oh, she's lesser of a spiritual goddess. And it's just like, no, I share it all the time. Healing hurts. And the real work is basically not like, plaiting your hair and doing cool videos and all the rest of it, and just like, having your bindi spot there and humming and all the rest of it. It is an aspect of it, but it's not the work. The work is basically snot and tears, rolling up your sleeves, getting into it to clear the density within yourself and for others, because you can, because that's what you signed up for. That's the work. It's not the work that's going to last forever, but we're part of the great rebuild. So that's what we do when we all sleep at night. We go under. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is because it's really important, because it's the difference of you actually turning the corner with this and actually changing the narrative and the conversation you have with yourself, because otherwise you're never going to come out of it. To actually understand, embrace and acknowledge that the sickness, this is like eons and eons of memory that you've got stored in your DNA and in your muscles and in your cells that you've got to purge. The amount of times of being like persecuted for being spiritual, the amount of times of just like, lost, everything. Like, we agreed to come here and kind of like clean the world up and do it together. So instead of actually relating to that and saying, well, that if I'm feeling like that means I'm not doing the work and it's wrong. You're never ever going to be able to see, because perception is everything, okay? And the power of your vision, of your sight, of what you truly see out there as to what is right or what is wrong. And in actual fact, there is no right or wrong. That's the funny thing. But I mean, if you're going to be rejecting the dark night of the soul, and that's going to be like the conversation you have with yourself, well, I'm a failure, then you're never ever going to find the value in your work, and you're never ever going to be able to move through the cycles, which is the principle, going back to the Hermetic teachings, the principle of rhythm. The pendulum always swings. There is always death and rebirth. So it's going to prevent you from just moving with the cycles. It's like the trees don't stand there and go, oh my God, there's like a storm coming and it's really cold, and oh, let me just retract my leaves. They just stand there because they know it's basically just how it is. The storms come, the suns come out, the sun comes out, you know what I mean? The leaves drop, you know what I mean? The leaves grow, summer comes, winter comes. It's cycles, it's death and rebirth. So if you are resisting the dark night, which is actually where all the light truly is, then you are not going to be moving with the cycles, which means you're going to have a hard time with it. So this is a really, really important message in this video, because the whole of like the illusion, especially in the spiritual community, and I'm talking about all over the world, is that we are being force fed, because and I say that because it's on Instagram, it's everywhere. We're being shown in every single moment, what it is to be a light being, in empowered. And nobody's talking about the darkness. Everybody's talking about the light. But you see, that is an imbalance, because the thing is, for the divine masculine and feminine frequencies to come into oneness, which is the twin flame union, the union within, where night and day come together, and it's here. The only way that can happen is basically by letting go of, I've got to be in the light, or I have to be in the dark. You need to merge the two. And that's what I'm talking about, the pendulum swing. Yes, being in the light is an aspect. Enjoy the sunsets, enjoy the sunrises. I see beauty everywhere. But I also see beauty in the darkness, in the mud, in my pain and my suffering, because there is beauty in this. It's only my mind that says it's pain and suffering. It's just a different vibration. It's not right or wrong, but we go, oh my God, pain, suffering, I'm doing this wrong, I'm failing. And then we have to stay in the darkness for longer to understand that is actually beautiful light. Like with the Tao or the Tao, whatever you want to, it's like that's its teaching, the stillness and the acceptance of all that there is. The stillness is found in the shit and the good stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's everywhere. So that's the journey. But if we get stuck either in the light, or we believe that we have to just suffer, then of course they are two extremes, and we can't get stuck in the polarities, but we need to go through the cycles of death and rebirth. So you understand, this is what needs to happen. And the bottom line is the illusion of what it means to be a spiritual being on the path, that also needs to go. And I'm going to move into that now, because the thing is, the journey is all about knowing yourself as God, because we are all oneness. We all are of the same consciousness that was like looking through Jesus's eyes, through the Buddha, through Lao Tzu, through Anagram Mother Jesus, through the Egyptian gods and goddesses. It's the same consciousness, right? So that is where the concept of oneness comes from. But if we don't believe that we are looking through that same consciousness, then we're going to be forever separated. So let's bring that down to base camp and actually say, well, how does that work? Like, how do we live that in our lives now? Well, what needs to happen is and this goes back to going into stillness again. And the reason being in stillness and meditation and really, really coming away from the mind and the noise and movement, stillness is essential for you to start decoding, disintegrating, and stepping back from all of this. Movement and energy is always going to be around, but you need to be in that one cell, that one place, that one cell. That is where the magic is, because from there, everything moves around you. And then when you can do that, you are free. And what I mean by that is your mind doesn't tell you, I have to go and sit in a mushroom ceremony because I need to be healed by the plant medicine, or go and sit in ayahuasca. Oh, ayahuasca healed me. Trust me, I've worked a lot with plant medicine, and what I have learned is in the beginning, I was like, wow, ayahuasca changed my life. Yes, she did. But what she actually taught me is she opened my eyes to my God frequency and my own power. And it wasn't the ceremony or the shaman or the medicine or her that actually healed me in the way that she came and made me feel better. She actually opened my eyes to actually see that I can do this on my own. And now I do not feel the need to drink her or sit with her because she's in me all the time, because I've integrated it into oneness. And it's the same with the mushrooms. Will I hold ceremonies to do with sacred cacao and all that? Of course I will. But the difference is with the people that I encourage to come to the space, and even myself, I come to that space knowing that I'm already empowered, knowing that I have the skills and I'm in touch with my gifts and abilities in my center. And I know who I am. I know that I have so much power to heal myself anyway. It's just the support of the medicines that opens your third eye and pulls the sleep out your eyes so you can see that. It's not the medicine that heals you. It's maybe switches your energy on, but then you're like, oh, okay, I know I can do this on my own just by sitting in my office here and going into stillness and having a conversation with my kidneys that might be giving me some kind of bladder issue, or having a conversation with my heart, which might be giving me a shoulder issue. That is the ultimate, because once you have that power at your fingertips, or rather you're in touch with your essence, it's true nature versus your emotional mind. That's the difference. The emotional mind will tell you that plant medicine is going to heal you. The emotional mind will tell you, I need to go to that healer because they can fix me. But the healer doesn't fix you. You fix you. And it's about opening the door. And this is where we need to get to. And it's a really, really important video, this one is, for you to actually make the decision to say, okay, well, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm actually going to, like if you take medicines like I'm talking about now, if you take microdosing, for example, I've got to take my microdosing today because I feel very ungrounded or whatever it might be. And then all of a sudden you don't take it for a few days and you're like, I haven't had my mushrooms. That's what I'm talking about. But if you turn around and just go, I'm going to work with them as a support to hold me while I go into my space because I'm feeling a bit wobbly today. But the difference is, you know that you are in touch with your true nature. You know that if you do go and do a mushroom ceremony, it's probably because you want to go and have a bit of fun and go and dance with the fairies in the garden. That's a bit different. Do you know what I mean? So now it's about moving into our space. Everything that we approach, okay? Every space that we approach, every book that we read. Remember, it's conditioning from what somebody else said in the words. Look, this is going to take quite a while. It's a process to unpack this, but it's to bring onto your awareness that you are the power. You are the healing force. And until we actually focus on that, there will be no movement forward. You will just keep turning around and around and around in the circle, just doing the same thing, but just doing it differently, still holding on. Now, I'm not saying that I've nailed it. I'm just saying that I got the memo. And in a lot of my life, I have unpacked it. Like I say, plant medicine, I used to think, that saved me. I'm sick. I'm feeling really unwell. I need to sit again in the medicine, in the ceremony. It's not like when you're constantly sat in healing modalities, you're actually giving your power away. Essentially, because you're saying, well, I can't do it. I need to come here. But now if I go to a ceremony or anything like that, it's because I want to. I know I'm a whole lot whole. So that's the difference. That's the focus. We need to unplug from all of that. I mean, even on Instagram, all of this stuff that comes in, everybody comes learn this, do this, whatever. You don't realize that you're being programmed to say that, you can't do it yourself. Because at the end of the day, your individual self, I can't tell you what that tree looks like out there. I can't tell you how a banana tastes to you. I can't tell you how, how an ice cream's going to taste, because that's on you. Because I can't do that. Do you know what I mean? That is your relationship with you, and that is individual to the person. So it's about seeing your true nature through the eyes, and that will reflect out there, and then connecting with nature and bringing that into your body. The only reflection you need to work with is the most stillest thing around you, which is the earth, the trees, and the cycles that they go through, because we are essentially that same energy. When you start working like that, now you become empowered, and you're going to feel a big relief as you just kind of give a sigh and just let go of the fact that, oh, you mean I don't have to learn that? I don't have to do this. Oh, thank the Lord. And even I'm going to move on to Tablets of Light tour, which, by the way, look out for that this week. I am launching it. So very exciting. Sidebar. But my point is when I take people to Egypt, I am not there to teach them, about how to be like ISIS, because they are ISIS. I'm not teaching them my way. What I'm doing, is basically opening the door, opening the portal, so they can access themselves. What goes on between them and their consciousness is between them. But I just need to hold the space to open the door. You access you. That's to do with you. And then I assist you if pain comes up, because I'm like a spiritual midwife. If pain comes up, I then step in and then I move that out the way, assist you in moving the pain out the way. That's my role in it. But then you learn how to move through that. You make sense of that pain, and then you transmute it into higher frequency. All of this, can you hear what I'm saying? All of this is on you. All of this is something you're doing. I'm just reflecting back to you in every single moment that you can do it on your own. Because what is the good of you coming on a massive Egypt tour with me, having this big experience, or a healing session with me, or whatever it might be, and then you're going, oh, that was amazing. Oh, I can't wait to go back to her again because she needs to fix me. Where's the empowerment that? Yeah, you might feel better, but I'm teaching you, I'm showing you nothing. I'm actually disabling you, and enabling you to stay exactly where you are. And all teachers should be showing their students, their initiates, basically how to be like them. Because if you don't think that you're a high initiate like me, if you don't think that you are a teacher like me, we got work to do. Because the focus and the job, the work is for us to actually see each other in each other. So, if you're sat here going, wow, okay, this is really resonating. Oh God, look at her. She's talking on a video. Well, I'm you, and I look at people who I resonate with and I just go, wow, they are really in their power, well, they're part of me, which means I can access that. Do you know what I mean? So I want to merge with that. That's my own personal journey. So it's about your own true nature. So there is a lot more I want to talk about, but this is a good 17 minutes. So anyway, digest that, and like I say, just focus on what I'm saying, and remember, you've got it all inside of you. That is the work. That is the work, and you are doing so well, because it's very powerful time. So just give yourself some appreciation for that. So look out for the Tablets of Light tour. It is launching this week. There will be a free Zoom call, no cost Zoom call. If you feel that is calling to you and you want to step up to that massive next level exponentially, huge upgrades, then by all means, get on a Zoom call with me, but you'll see the details. I'll do a video and let you know when it's out there. Brand new website, in fact, 2 websites. So, welcome. Can't wait to connect. And there's a lot out there, which everything I've just spoken about, I have the portal. I have it all for you. Okay, so love and light, y'all. Thanks for watching. Peace.